We're here for the Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off. Usually we pick the king or queen of seafood that will compete in August in the Great American Cook-Off in New Orleans at the restaurant show. But because our chef last year didn't get to compete, this year every king and queen that won in previous years is here to compete for the crown and the cape, the king or queen of seafood for all of the past winners. So we can still have our chef from last year compete in New Orleans in August. So it'll be a great competition, the best of the best, creating the best seafood dishes made with great Louisiana seafood.
3, 2, 1, let's go, baby. The official start of the Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off. Acadiana, if you haven't been to the front, now is the time. Chef Robert Vasquez going to pick his seafood.
Hi, my name's Robert Vasquez. I'm the 2020 Louisiana Seafood King right out of Covington.
Tell us, what are you cooking tonight?
So I'm debating on what my protein is going to be. I'm looking for a cobia. So probably going to be a take on the Climb Casino crust. So we're going to put that on top of the cobia with a butternut squash sauce and spaghettini.
How'd you come up with the idea for this?
I just wanted to take a play off on something that's very simple, less complexity. You know, I'm just looking to put the cobia as the star and use my secret ingredient, which was the Zapp's Gator Chips.
What advice do you have for the chef at home?
Keep it simple, keep it real, enjoy the ingredients that you have. Obviously, we're in Louisiana, you can buy the freshest seafood. You don't have to be a chef to pick. You can go to local grocery stores, go to local markets, and just use the freshest ingredients as possible.
What's the trick to winning a competition like this?
Keep it simple, be passionate about it, and just look forward for the opportunity.
Judges, what I prepared was a blackened seared cobia, and I encrusted it with a kind of a twist from the Climb Casino. So I rendered bacon. My secret ingredient was incorporated, instead of panko, I incorporated into the crust. I did a butternut squash sauce tossed with a goat gouda and spaghettini.
Hi, my name is Keith Frentz from Lola Restaurant in Covington, and I was 2012 King of Louisiana Seafood, and my wife Neely was the Queen of Louisiana Seafood.
What do you think of a competition like this?
I think it brings the best out of every person here and makes you be creative and on your heels, so that's be great.
How many years have you been cooking Louisiana seafood?
20 plus.
What's it like?
It's easy. The product speaks for itself. It's just cooking it the right way.
What advice do you have for the chef at home when it comes to cooking Louisiana seafood?
Keep it simple.
Let the seafood do the talking. Don't frill it up. Yeah.
What's the trick to winning a competition like this?
Don't overthink your dish, basically, and just keep it simple and straightforward. We're Keith and Neely Frentz from Lola in Covington. Today we prepared for you a bronzed scamp grouper with some sticky
Sam would be the one to ask.
Coconut lime rice and a crawfish boil curry sauce.
Do you know if there's a
So we took all the crawfish boil ingredients, incorporated into the sauce, very flavorful curry, coconut milk, turmeric, a lot of ginger, garlic, and cilantro.
Hello, my name is Chris Lusk. I was the 2010 King of Louisiana Seafood.
What are you cooking up here today?
I'm not sure yet. I came in today, so I'm a little behind, but I have great Louisiana seafood, so how can I go wrong?
What type of seafood do you like to cook the most?
Anything from Louisiana, but I love oysters. I love oysters, crab meat, amberjack, some of the fish that, are a little off the beaten path. Love those.
What is the trick to cooking with Louisiana seafood?
Salt and don't overcook it.
What advice do you have for the chef at home when it comes to cooking seafood on a regular basis?
Buy a good product, have a good fishmonger, and when you get it, don't add a lot to it. Keep it simple. Salt, pepper, a little lemon juice, a little olive oil, but keep it simple because you don't want to overpower the flavor of the seafood.
All right, guys, tonight we have something that my grandmother used to make. When tomatoes weren't quite in season, she would take green tomatoes and then cook them in a little bit of bacon fat. So I said, well, why not do that with great Creole tomatoes? I have green Creole tomatoes and red Creole tomatoes, which have been marinated. We have some jumbo up crab meat, and then we have some mahi. And the mahi's been seasoned with a little bit of smoked salt, so it kind of emulates bacon. And then on top are some bacon bits. So we took panko and incorporated bacon fat into it. So If you ever have bacon bits and they're not good, these are good bacon bits.
I'm Chef Aaron Bergow, the King of Louisiana Seafood 2014.
How many years have you been a chef, and how'd you get interested in cooking?
I guess since 1996, 1997. I used to always cook as a child with my grandmother.
What do you like the most about cooking with Louisiana Seafood?
Just the freshness and the ease, the convenience of getting it in our local waters.
Tell us, what advice do you have for the chef at home?
Just keep it simple and, don't always go off of the script. Do what you like and do what you like to eat.
What do you think of this competition, the King of Kings or the Queen of Queens?
I think it's great. I think it's a good competition between a bunch of friends and people that work in the industry together.
What do you do to promote Louisiana seafood on a regular basis?
Just try to keep it on the menu and make sure you tell if you're serving Gulf seafood, Gulf shrimp, you put Gulf shrimp, or you're serving, lake-born crabs. You're telling people a story through the, giving people a description of where it's from, what waters it's coming out of.
I have a seafood rice, just steamed rice with a little bit of crawfish, a little bit of Louisiana Gulf shrimp, and crab meat, and a little charred okra, and a corn sauce. So basically I just took corn, pureed it, strained it, and mounted a little butter into it, and a little bit of a crystal hot sauce. So enjoy.
Hey, I'm Chef Nathan Richard, King of Louisiana Seafood 2019.
What are you cooking up here today?
Still unknown, it's one of those challenging things, but I do have some fresh russet peaches, some avocados, so we'll see what's going to happen.
What's it like cooking with Louisiana Seafood?
Some of the best. I've had the chance to travel a little bit, and Louisiana Seafood stands the best out of all.
What advice do you have for the chef at home when it comes to cooking Louisiana seafood?
Know your fish, know your seafood, making sure it's actually from Louisiana. That's some imitation and mocks that might use some special names that are Cajun, but look on the back, make sure it's made in Louisiana.
What's the key to winning the King of King and Queen of Queens competition?
That's a tough one. It's one of the first years they have it, a lot of great chefs, and we're just going to put our best foot forward and let the seafood speak for itself.
We got a little, what I like to call a reef donkey, also known as amberjack. Amberjack gets a kind of a bad name sometimes because of the fish. It gets its name reef donkey because it lives by the reefs, and they are a jackass to fish for and reel, but fun to catch. Meat's very sweet this time of the year. On the side of the plate, we got a little green goddess dressing, or also known as a little avocado puree. Then a little salad of peaches, Creole tomatoes, crab meat, arugula, sweet Vidalia onions, and it's finished off with the secret ingredient that was used to blacken the fish. I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but the Cetois seasoning, dry seasoning, which I took, pureed it all up, added a little bit of salt and pepper to it to make a nice little seasoning.
Hi, my name is Chef Bonnie Bro, and I am the 2017 Louisiana Seafood Queen.
What are you cooking tonight?
Tonight I am doing a pistachio and coconut encrusted mangrove snapper with a curried couscous and a kumquat marmalade cream sauce.
How'd you come up with the idea for that?
Well, we only had 2 days to know what we had. So I just thought of it. I just wanted it to be something kind of summery, tropical.
What's it like cooking with Louisiana Seafood on a regular basis?
Oh, it's a great thing. It's so much fun. It's fun getting together with the guys again and us all having a good time together. It's always fun.
What advice do you have for the chef at home?
The chef at home, keep it simple, always. That's the best taste in food. Okay, so I figured I'd bring y'all back to the islands since we had such a rough year last year. I made for y'all a pistachio and coconut encrusted mangrove snapper with a curried couscous and a coconut and kumquat marmalade reduction. And my mystery thing was Tabasco garlic. So I added that into the sauce and a little bit of rice vinegar and stuff like that.
I'm Cody Carroll. I was the King of Louisiana Seafood 2013.
What are you cooking up tonight?
Well, I have to kind of choose what fish they're going to have left at number 7. I go 7th, and everybody gets to pick their fish. I know other than that, I'm going to do a version of a Filipino potato salad because I picked a secret ingredient that was like a sweet and sour sauce. I'm going to rehydrate some of the dried Louisiana shrimp, and I'm going to do a blue crab whipped potato and a little bit of crawfish American sauce.
How did you come up with the idea for this?
Well, it kind of led from that secret ingredient I got. I had that sweet and sour, and I started thinking, okay, well, the Filipino Manila Village down in Barataria Bay, that's where they stomped the shrimp and dried them, so I could let everything kind of dry from there.
Tell us, what is the advice that you have for the chef at home when it comes to cooking Louisiana seafood?
I mean, buy fresh, find what you can, fresh, fresh, fresh is always the best way to go about it.
What's the trick to winning a competition like this?
Well, the trick it's no trick, but the advice I would give is be true to yourself and cook something you enjoy cooking.
So I grew up in the country. I grew up cooking close to the bone, straight off the farm. And one day I had the pleasure of meeting Chef Leah Chase. And I asked her, I said, look, Chef, you know, I love cooking soul food, but there's a little problem here. I'm light. She said, honey, as long as that food is good, it don't matter what color you are. I said, yes, ma'am. Which it brings us to this dish. So this is a little bit of whipped potato, a little sour cream whipped potato with lump crab meat, a pan-fried catfish, kind of inspired by Catfish Acadian. Everybody loves that dish. The sauce is crawfish and chanterelle, crawfish American. And then I finished with my secret ingredient, which is a sweet and sour sauce. I did a play on the collard greens, sweet and sour collard greens with the dried shrimp. So y'all enjoy. This is the fanciest soul food plate you might ever eat.
Hi, I'm Chef Ryan Trahan from Vestal Restaurant in Lafayette. I was the 2018 King of Louisiana Seafood.
What are you cooking here tonight?
I'm going to cook a jumbo lump crab pasta with andouille croutons.
How'd you get the inspiration for that dish?
It's a riff on a dish that we serve at the restaurant on a nightly basis. I wanted to highlight the crab as best as I could and really showcase the seafood, so we're just going to serve it with some fresh pasta and a really nice cured tuna infused cream.
What's it like cooking with Louisiana Seafood?
Oh, it's great. We have the best seafood in the world. Yes, sir.
What advice do you have for the chef at home?
Always buy local and get the freshest you can. Whenever you find a place that gets really fresh seafood, support them so that they can continue to service you on a daily basis.
So tonight what I did is I made some fresh extruded pasta and I served it in a cream sauce that I steeped with dried tuna, which gives it a little bit of a smokiness, and some seaweed to kind of help to complement the natural freshness of the crab. I did it in the form that you would normally make a dashi. And then I mounted that sauce with a little bit of wakame lemon butter. The sauce, the crumbles on the top is part of my secret ingredient. So it's crispy andouille sausage made into like a furikake pan grattato. So it's the dried crisp parts that I use to make the cream sauce. On top of that, we also have some chive just to add a little bit of brightness, some bull's blood to complement the earthiness, and a little bit of salmon roe, smoked trout roe for a little bit of pop.
Hi, I'm Mike Brewer, 2015 King of Louisiana Seafood, Executive Chef and owner at Nola Ghost Kitchen in Metairie.
Tell us, what are you cooking up here tonight?
I'm going to do some crab meat risotto with chisace ham, a little charred okra, some pickled red cabbage, and probably some little seared fish to go on top.
How'd you get the idea for that?
I don't know. I was sitting around the house the other night trying to figure out what we're going to do in this competition and put a few ideas together, and then last night when we found out our secret ingredient, I put the finishing touches on it.
What's it like cooking with Louisiana Seafood?
It's the best thing in the world. You know, this is right in our backyard. We can harvest it fresh every day. Go to your local market, pick it up, and it's the best product to work with in the world.
What advice do you have for the chef at home?
take your time. Make sure your pans are hot when you start to cook, so you get a much better finish that way. But mainly just treat your products with respect when you're cooking, and your end product will turn out much better.
So I've been playing a lot with risotto here in the kitchen, and I made a crawfish stock with a little beef demi in it to boost that flavor for you. And that's what the crab risotto is all about. There's a little crab fat in there as well. We took some beautiful okra, put a nice little char on that, dressed it with a little salt and pepper, and then you have some pickled red cabbage with the acid to sort of cut through all the fat of that risotto. The fish that I picked is wahoo, nice flaky dense fish. You can cook it like a steak, and it's one of my favorite fish. It's the killer of the ocean, 60 miles an hour with his hair on fire, and it's sort of the way I live my life.
Hi, my name's Tori McPhail, and I'm the king of Louisiana Seafood for 2009.
Tell us, what are you cooking up here today?
You know, my ideas are still starting to come together, but we have an amazing selection of fresh seafood right over here, great pantry. So I'm going to be cooking second today, so I've kind of got the dealer's choice behind my friend Robert on the other end. So we'll have to see, all those ideas will come together.
What's it like to cook with Louisiana Seafood?
Louisiana Seafood is the best. It is absolutely the best. Recently, I've just moved to Bozeman, Montana, and I've never taken seafood for granted, but other parts of the country, they do. And to be able to fly back here to South Louisiana and compete here in Lafayette at the Cajun Dome is going to be pretty special.
Tell us, what is the best thing about Louisiana Seafood?
Louisiana Seafood is extraordinary because of the diversity of all the different species and all the freshness too. I mean, there's a huge network of fishermen and families all across Louisiana, and to be able to have those hard-working ladies and gentlemen provide so much amazing seafood to all the tables at home and also in the great restaurants in Louisiana, that's pretty special.
What advice do you have for the chef at home?
Well, I think you just make a good relationship with your local fishmonger at Rouse's grocery store or wherever you happen to be shopping, and don't be afraid to have them pick it up right out of the case, look at it, smell it, enjoy it, and if you're not seeing exactly what you want, those guys can order it for you too. So everything is caught fresh right here in Louisiana, so don't let that go to waste.
So we decided to showcase fresh sheepshead. Sheepshead, I think, sometimes gets a bad rap because it's very difficult to try to butcher. But in this last year and a half or so, I think everybody can appreciate sustainability and trying to put good, wholesome food on the table for a pretty inexpensive price. So the dish that we're going to do for you tonight, you can put this on the table for less than a Shake Shack hamburger. Okay? And this is a dish I feel very proud to present on a white tablecloth, amazing restaurant like Commander's Palace. So we have sheepshead to start off with. Okay? The diet of sheepshead is fresh shrimp and crab. And it's also called the poor man's crab meat because you can poach it, let it fall off, and it's got a really nice sweet flavor to it. So 3 different types of seafood here. The garnish on this dish on top is a classic Commander's Palace appetizer, shrimp and tasso Henneken. We did this with our secret ingredient, which is that bulldog pepper jelly, a little bit of fresh pecans. We've flambéed fresh sweet crab meat with summer corn, deglazed that with some fresh whiskey, and on the bottom, this is a fresh version of Creole sauce.
We get an opportunity to go do restaurant takeovers all over the country. We get so much publicity, not only for seafood, for those chefs, but also for tourism. It really helps us bring people to Louisiana for the food, the culture, and the great food that these chefs prepare. And you'll see some of those dishes here tonight. We went to Alaska, one to promote Louisiana Seafood, but Louisiana and Alaska are the 2 biggest seafood producers in the country. And a year ago, we got the Lieutenant Governors Association, which I was president of, to support a resolution asking the federal government to impose a 5 to 10% inspection fee on imported seafood. That would allow the federal government to hire many inspectors, and instead inspected 2% of imported seafood, we could up that to about 50%. It'll give our local crawfish farmers, fishermen a little bit level playing field, bump the price up a little bit, but more importantly, hopefully those people that import seafood in unsafe conditions will clean up their act and show the differences of Louisiana domestic seafood, fresh seafood, versus those imports that sometimes are not brought into this country and raised in healthy conditions. So we were able to partner with Alaska, meet with the governor, lieutenant governor, legislators up there as we pursue this legislation in Washington. We're going to need everybody's help to get this through.
How important is Louisiana seafood to the nation and to the world?
Well, it's so important here, the jobs, the economic benefit, and it's a resource as long as we take care of those precious marshes and waterways, we'll be here for generations to come. And that's something we've got to always keep our sights on as we look at coastal restoration and restoring our coast, that we do it in a safe way and a way that will protect our industry. Thank you all for being here tonight and for supporting this great event with Eat Lafayette. And how about the crowd tonight? It was unbelievable. It felt so good to get back out and hug people. And as we come out of this and open our doors to the world, because of these chefs behind me and the other great chefs around the state, I have no doubt that we will bounce back quicker than any state to those record-breaking numbers in tourism. I want to give Sam and her team and my staff a shout out that has worked incredibly hard to make this happen. And also the restaurant takeovers they do in Austin, in other states. We just got back from Alaska. Those restaurant takeovers are a lot of work. It's people away from their family, it's chefs going to cook in other cities. But it brings back tenfold tourists and people to Louisiana because of that passion and personality they bring with them. So thank all of you for helping us grow the tourism industry. And with that, we will be back here next year. Nobody's stealing this event. So let's find out who the winner's going to be. Thank you all for being here.
Third place tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, who is it, Amy?
Chef Chris Lusk.
Chef Chris Lusk. Y'all give it up. Third place.
Let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
Right here.
Congratulations.
So, in dramatic effect, ladies and gentlemen, up here and down there, we actually had a tie for first place. Now, all right, before, there was 3 judges, so then it went to a judge's vote. So just know our second place selection is definitely a heavy hitter for sure. So, Amy, go ahead, do your thing, do your thing. I'm going to hold your mic. There you go. So second place, you got it. Go ahead.
I'm nervous.
Do your thing. There you go.
Second place, Chef Cody Carroll.
Cody Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. All right, representing New Roads, baby. Come on. Cody Carroll. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's been 2 years since we've gotten to do this, and it feels good. Ladies and gentlemen, it felt good to be back at the Seafood Cook-Off, didn't it? Come on, man. All right, here we go. We're gonna read
He's dragging it out. He's like, I'm going to drag it out and make him wait.
I don't want the night to end.
First place.
First place.
Chef Tori McPhail.
Tori McPhail, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Take a knee, T. Take a knee, baby. There you go. There you go. Look, here we go, Tori. Look. There you go. Come on, bro. Come on.
Chef Tori, I hope you practice your walk.
That's it. Tori's got a sachet across the stage, baby. Let's go.
Woo!
Our second chef of the night, Tori, holding it down. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up one more time. Tori, do me a favor. Tori, say something real quick for him.
I am blessed, but I'll tell you what, the ladies and gentlemen behind me, they deserve all the credit. These hardworking chefs are just fantastic, and apparently tonight we just got lucky. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Y'all give it up for all of our chefs compete tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Tori McPhail, the winner of the 2021 Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off, the King of Kings. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all make some noise one more time.
Tori, right there.
I think I just got lucky tonight because the chefs around me, I'll tell you what, these guys and ladies, they deserve all the credit. It's amazing. But I'm certainly very much an honor.
What do you cook here tonight?
So we decided to represent a good swath of Louisiana. So we decided to do a dish with fresh sheepshead, and it's all about great value. That fresh crab meat and also some wild caught shrimp all together on a dish that's prepared nice and healthy.
What do you want people to know about Louisiana Seafood?
Man, I'll tell you what, if y'all are not eating Louisiana Seafood on a regular basis, y'all have got to get to your local grocery stores, pick out anything you want, and I'd say just mix it up. If there's a species that you haven't tried before, get out there, try it, go for it. And I don't even know how many hundreds of species we have here in South Louisiana. But aside from Alaska, Louisiana is where it's at. So get out there, get some great local Louisiana seafood, and just enjoy yourself at the house.
I mean, I'm ecstatic for Chef Tori. I mean, that is just, if I'm gonna come in second to anyone, it's Chef Tori.
What did you cook up here tonight?
I did a wild catfish, a little bit of collard greens, sweet and sour, a little bit of lump crab meat, and I took dried shrimp, rehydrated them, and did collard greens. I put that into collard greens. I don't know, it was so many emotions right now, I pretty much forgot what I cooked. It was good, apparently.
Oh, third place is great. I'm so happy that Tori won and Cody won second place. So, hey, you can't go wrong. Great seafood, great competition, and great people.
I think it was a tough competition. I think that made it a little special is that secret ingredients that each had to use, see how they use that, incorporate into a great dish, and it was a great time, a great turnout.